Standard 9 English. Happy day, children. Hope you are all watching the video classes and learning at home. Today we are going to learn poem 2. The title of poem is A Poison Tree. It was written by William Blake. First, let's see about the poet William Blake. He was an English poet, painter and printmaker. He is now considered a seminal figure in the history of English poetry. He was born in London. He was a boldly imaginative rebel in both his thought and his art. Some of his famous poems are The Lamb and The Tiger. Children, I have a question. If you overhear a friend talking about you badly, how will you feel? Yes, many of us will feel very angry, but very few will not feel angry. They will take it easily. Now I am going to read the poem. Listen carefully. Turn to page 39 in your ebook. A Poison Tree. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles, and with soft deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. In this poem, the poet describes how to handle anger both with a friend and an enemy. The poet has given us a very valuable lesson how to handle conflict. Now let's learn the first stanza and I will explain it line by line. First line, I was angry with my friend. Here, I refers to the poet. The poet was angry with his friend. Second line, I told my wrath did end. Wrath means great anger. The poet told or spoke to his friend frankly about his anger. My wrath did end. Did end means ended or came to an end. So the poet's anger came to an end. Third line, I was angry with my foe. Foe means enemy. The poet was angry with his enemy. Fourth line, I told it not. My wrath did grow. The poet did not tell or talk to his enemy frankly, so the anger did grow. That is, anger increased. The first stanza speaks about two types of anger. One that was against a friend and one against an enemy. One day the poet was angry with his friend and he was the poet's friend. He spoke to him frankly. As a result, the poet's anger vanished. Later, the poet was angry with his enemy. Being an enemy, the poet couldn't talk to him frankly. The poet concealed, that is, covered his anger. As a result, the anger increased. In this first stanza, we will see the figures of speech. Last poem, I taught you how to find rhyming words and rhyming scheme. So, the rhyming word here in this first stanza is friend, end, foe, grow. Rhyming scheme is A, B, B. Poetic device, alliteration. So, in the first line, was with WW is the alliteration. Third line, was with W is the alliteration word. Now second stanza, first line, and I watered it in fears. We grow plants by watering them. Here in this line the poet watered his anger in fears. He was afraid of his enemy. Second line, night and morning with my tears. The poet was shedding tears day and night, thinking of the injustice done to him by his enemy. The fear and tear acted as water for the plant of anger to grow. Third line, and I sunned it with smiles. Here I refers to the poet and it refers to the plant of anger. The false smiles and cunning tricks of the poet gave sunshine to the plant. Fourth line, and with soft, deceitful wiles. Soft means gentle. Deceitful means intended to deceive. Wiles means tricks. These acts of deceit gave sunshine to the plant of anger to grow fast. In the second stanza, the poet was afraid of his enemy. He was shedding tears day and night, thinking of his evil deeds. Thus the poet watered the plant of anger. The poet greeted his foe with false smiles and cunning tricks. These acts of deceit gave sunshine to the plant of anger to grow fast. Figures of speech in the second stanza. Rhyming word: fears, tears. Smiles, wiles. Rhyming scheme is A, B, B. Poetic device: alliteration. In the second line, morning, my. Third line, sun, smiles. Fourth line, with wiles. In the first line, it is metaphor. Metaphor is a word that is used in an imaginative way to show that somebody or something has the same quality as another thing. Here, the process of cultivating one's emotion, as seen in the first line, and I watered it in fears, is compared to cultivating a plant. So, it is metaphor. Next, third stanza. First line, and it grew both day and night. Here it refers to the tree of anger. The tree of anger grew fast day and night. Second line, till it bore an apple bright. It refers to the apple. Till the tree bore. Bore means carried a bright apple. The tree of anger yielded fruit. A bright apple appeared on the tree. Here apple signifies a poisonous fruit. Third line, and my foe beheld it shine. My foe, that is the poet's enemy. Beheld means saw. It refers to the apple. The poet's enemy saw the apple shines bright. Fourth line, and he knew that it was mine. He refers to the enemy. It refers to the apple. The enemy knew that the apple belonged to the poet. In the third stanza, the tree of anger grew fast day and night. One day, the tree of anger yielded fruit. A bright apple appeared on the tree. The poet's enemy saw the apple shining bright and he knew that the apple was the yield of the poet's tree. Figures of speech. Rhyming word: night, bright. Shine, mine. Rhyming scheme: A, B, B. Poetic device: alliteration. In the second line, bore, bright. In the first line, it is personification, because anger grow is compared as living being grow. So it is personification. Now fourth stanza. First line, and into my garden stole. The poet's enemy came secretly into the poet's garden to steal or rob. He plucked the fruit and ate it. Second line, when the night had veiled the pole. Veil means covered. The pole star is normally visible at night, but that night was so dark that the pole star was not visible. Third line, in the morning glad I see. In the morning the poet felt happy. Fourth line, my foe outstretched beneath the tree. Outstretched means with the hands reaching out. Beneath the tree means under the tree. My foe, that is the poet's enemy, ate the fruit of the poison tree. As the fruit was poisonous, he died. The poet was happy to see his enemy lying dead. Finally, in the fourth stanza, the poet says, it was night time, darkness had covered the pole star. At that time, his enemy entered the poet's garden, plucked the fruit of anger and ate it. The next morning, the poet saw his enemy lying dead under the tree. The poet was happy to see his enemy lying dead. Fourth stanza, figures of speech. Rhyming word, stole, pole. See, tree. Rhyming scheme as A, B, B. Poetic device, alliteration in the last line, fourth line, the tree. In this poem, the author refers to the Bible, Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve disobeyed God and ate the fruit God had forbidden. William Blake uses the poem to teach the reader that just as Christ teaches, we should forgive our friends as well as our enemies, and that we should not hold grudges. William Blake uses the poem as a warning to those who harbor grudges and allow the feelings of anger to stay inside without dealing with them. Expressing the feelings is the only way to avoid the fruit of poison tree. So children, be careful how to treat your anger. Anger can appear attractive on the surface. Anger is ultimately deadly. The moral of the poem, A Poison Tree, is don't feed your anger. Forgive your enemies as you forgive your friends. That is, love your enemies as you love your friends. We should be open-hearted and honest with our feelings. Dear children, I hope you all understood the theme, the moral of the poem. See the WhatsApp group and do the given assignment. Report as task completed in your group between 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Thanks for watching.